Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us here inside the Brinker Family Loft at the Henry Ford Detroit Pistons Performance Center. As we welcome those who are also joining on the live stream, it's great to be here today. Today's an important day as we introduce the newest member of the Detroit Pistons, who will no doubt play an important role in the future of the franchise. Joining us for the introduction and press availability, we're pleased to have Pistons President of Basketball Operations, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪. We're also joined by members of the Pistons front office, our basketball operations staff, and I want to extend a sincere welcome to the friends and family of our newest Piston, Ron Holland. Let's give them all a nice welcome. As part of this press availability, we'll have some brief remarks from 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 and Ron. After those remarks, I'll open it to a question and answer period. For our new President of Basketball Operations, it's been an extremely busy couple of weeks since he has taken over as our lead basketball decision maker. We're excited to have him with us as he begins to put his imprint on this team and the organization. 𝗙𝗙𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, thanks for being here, and I'll turn the conference over to you.
Thanks, Kevin. And again, thanks for everybody for being here. Good afternoon. Ron, welcome to Detroit.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Also want to welcome his family, his father, Ron Sr., his mom, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, and his sister, 𝗙𝗓. So Mom told me that that's the best way to introduce you. So we're excited for all of you guys to be here in Detroit. When thinking about Ron and when we scouted Ron and watching a lot of tape and studying him, Ron embodies what we want all of our players to be here in the city of Detroit for our fans and for the city. Hard work, highly competitive, and a high character young man that comes from a great family. We feel he has the ability to impact both ends of the floor at a high level, and he's scary in transition. And I think all those qualities really have the ability to move our team up in the future. And it's what we're looking for from our players and what we want to add and who we have as well and develop those guys into. I think the thing, too, that really impressed me about Ron and impressed us was he knows who he is. The people that you speak about that you want to play like, you know, you're a defense-first guy, team first, you want to win. Those type of things, and then you build on that as we get better in that. And those are the things that really intrigued us about adding you to our organization. And for us and for me, you becoming our first pick. So congratulations again, Ron, and welcome to Detroit.
Yes, sir. Thank you. First, I want to say I appreciate y'all for really just welcoming me. Super excited to be blessed for this opportunity and get here and help this franchise turn things around. I think me bringing my winning mindset and mentality here, I feel like he said before, is going to help this franchise out a lot, and I'm super excited and just ready to get things going.
Well, at this time, I'll open the panel to a question and answer period. To our media members here in attendance, please remember to identify yourself with name and affiliation and state who your question's for. We have some microphones floating around, and we'll take a hand raise, and with the first question, we'll go to 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪.
Hey, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 II for the Detroit Free Press. Ron, welcome to Detroit. Just can you walk us through the last 24 hours? Obviously, there was a shock of going 5th overall. Just, you know, have you been welcomed by teammates, and what are your initial impressions of the franchise and city as well?
The last 24 hours has been a roller coaster of emotions. Being that I heard my name called, I was super blessed about that, and having everybody at my table that's been through throughout this whole process and journey throughout my whole life, standing up and seeing them shed tears and just be able to be excited for me, I was super. Words couldn't even explain how emotional I was after I heard that, but I feel like I said, I'm super blessed for this opportunity. And after everything, all the media, everything calmed down, going back there and just being able to talk to everybody that's been with me throughout this whole process. I mean, I was just super excited, and some of the teammates that I have now texting me or welcoming me here, and I can't wait to get here and just I'm super excited for it. I'm ready.
𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, Pistons.com. For Ron, Trajan mentioned that you know who you are, and you talked the other night about the guys that you try to emulate. There was a lot said and written about your experience with the Ignite and how you had to like step outside of that a little bit because of things that happened with the roster around you. I'm just curious, how do you feel having to spread your wings and do some of the things maybe you didn't anticipate? How did that affect your development, either positively or negatively?
I think I've been put in a bunch of different situations throughout my whole basketball career, so it wasn't new to me just being able to do something different, but it was definitely a challenge for sure. Coming out of high school, I'm stepping into the professional side of the game, and like I said, it was really challenging. But I had the right group of people around me and the right circle around me, and it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy. It took a lot for me to get through that, and I definitely grew as a player and as a man. I came a long way, but I can't wait to see where else I grow. I have a long way to go, and I feel like I'm at the spot to do it.
Ron, James Edwards with The Athletic. Welcome to Detroit.
Yes, sir.
I know it's been a wild 48 hours, but between getting drafted here and right now, have you had time to even learn about like the history of the franchise, teammates you weren't familiar with?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do a deep dive at all just on the place you were coming to?
I've been getting told like just really small amounts of information, but I mean, I haven't really had time to just deep dive down into that. But I mean, once I get down here and be able to get settled in, I know I'm going to learn a lot. Being that I like music a lot, I've heard a lot about the music out here. I can't wait to really experience that for sure. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Ron, Corey Woods, M Live. Welcome to Detroit. On the day we talked to you after you got drafted, you said that your previous experience, specifically the G League Ignite, prepared you for coming to a team that's trying to rebuild and turn things around. Can you elaborate on that?
Coming from Ignite, I mean, it's no secret to the world. We did a lot of losing over there, and it was kind of difficult just because of all the young players, the young talent that we had. Couldn't really figure things out, and I think it helped me really just mentally being able to, being one of the leaders on that team. I had to self-reflect a lot and really just deep dive into my game and what things I should change about myself and how to lead this team to not only victory but just taking steps in the right direction every single day, and then coming to a franchise that has similar qualities to that. I think it prepared me for that as well, just because it just simulate within each other. And I think, I mean, with the guys that's here, like it's the same thing: young talent, young minds, but really good players. And I think I'm a huge part of why this franchise is going to turn around. Just being that my winning mindset is going to be here, and I'm going to take things to the right direction.
Vince Ellis, Pistons.com, and this question is for Trajan. Trajan, you admitted when you were introduced that you still had some homework and some catching up to do when it came to this NBA draft, considering you were just hired, I guess, a month ago now.
Sure.
Speak to your comfort level making this pick. And the second question is, give us an insight into how you run a draft room, since it's really your first time as being the guy in the first chair running the thing. So anyway, that's the question I have.
All right, well, I think you guys will get to know me. You know me already. I'm a man of few words, so I don't know how I'm going to deep dive into that second question, but I can definitely attack the first one for you. Obviously, the majority of this year I was in New Orleans, so we were in the top 4 or 5 in the West the majority of the year, so I really wasn't scouting high-end talent. And I happened to see the Ignite twice and was intrigued by their high-end talent the whole year, so I watched a lot of tape because it was fun to watch. You know, these young guys running around, and I think trying to understand how these young guys will translate is always something that's fun for me and challenging for me. So I watched a ton of Ron, watched a ton of his teammates, watched a ton of G League, obviously. But my focus for the majority of the year was basically players that were 16 through 26 in the draft that we projected. And so, you know, the compressed amount of time coming here with 3-4 weeks before the draft, I kind of let my group run with it. And only, you know, I had staffing, and obviously the coaching thing came up. We were talking about free agency. We're talking about a lot of things that we had to get online and process-oriented things over the past few weeks. So it's really over the past week that I personally really had a chance to really hone in and figure out what our group was talking about. And over the past, you know, 4 or 5 days, film, intel calls, talking to our group really led me to understand that this was the guy for us. Understand his impact, his force on both ends of the floor, the human being, the character, and I just felt all those, he checks so many boxes here, that not only what we're about, but what the city of Detroit is about as well.
I'll try to rephrase the second question some later date.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Ron. Brandon Dent, Woodward Sports, and hello again, Trajan. Welcome to Detroit, Ron, and to your family. Hearing everything that Trajan values in a player, what does it mean to you to be the first addition to this front office?
It means a lot. It means that he sees a lot within me, potentially just being able to help this franchise out, and it shows that I get to come here and be myself to the best of my ability, and that's not really, hard to do. I'm a hard-working person, passionate about the game, passionate about anything I do, really into the community. Can't wait to really get into things when it comes to the Detroit community. But I think it says a lot about who he is, who I am, and really what I'm going to turn into as a basketball player and as a man.
All right, one right here.
Sean Corp, Detroit Bad Boys. This is a question for Trajan. Because you had so much catch-up to do, and this draft had a lot of players that were sort of high floor, low ceiling. They were thought of as maybe contributors, but with Ron, you took a big swing on what could be an elite talent. So can you just talk about your comfort level in making that big swing and how important it was for you to not play it safe?
I'm very, very comfortable with this young man to my left. We talk about the things that are really important to add to this culture, to add to this organization, to bring to the city, and whether that's through free agency, whether that's through trade, whether that's through the draft. I think we went through an internal process on what's important, and as I said before, he checks a ton of those boxes. So I think there's a lot of things that he brings at an elite level to us right now. And so, yeah, he has a high ceiling, but I don't think his floor is that low. I think he's going to be a hell of a player in this league, and I know he's going to reach his potential because of his hard work and his character and the resources that we're going to put around him. So I have a high belief in this young man to my left that he is going to really, really impact this organization at a high level for a long period of time.
Oh, the last one, we'll go back.
Ron, this is Eric Vincent from Clutch Points. You talked about the support that you got from your family on the way here. Are there any players like around the league or anybody else in the NBA that kind of gave you some support through the process?
A big person I could say is Anthony Black. Connected with him a lot. He played at Duncanville when I was a junior in high school. He was a senior. Him being at Orlando, him not really playing as much, I got to really pick his brain about mentally how he approached the game and just how he felt about that, and just staying confident, always being ready when your name is called, and just always staying in the gym so you'll be prepared when your name is called and get your moment. And you go out there and show why you should be out there and should be playing. He definitely had a lot to do with a lot of the knowledge and information that I've got from him and about the NBA. And then Tyrese Maxey, Dallas dude, I've talked to him a few, just how his confidence just been up there a lot. Really just watching the player that he has became for the NBA has been, tremendous. It's just loving what he's doing within the NBA and just how he's carrying his team. Just really those two guys I've talked to.
All right. Well, with no more questions, we'll end the Q&A part. Trajan, I'll ask that you come up front with Ron, and we'll take a celebratory photo with his new Pistons jersey. And if I could have our audience still stay seated so our TV cameras in the back can get the shot. Still photogs, hold on one second. Still photogs, can I get you guys down so the TVs in the back can get their shots? Everybody good? All right, let's give Ron one more round of applause.